Every time someone reads you, they own a piece of you. Your anger, your fear, your desire, your insecurity. The moment someone identifies what moves you, they have the blueprint to control you, and they will use it. Not always consciously, not always maliciously, but they will use it. Because human beings are pattern recognition machines, hardwired to find leverage in others. Right now, you're being read. In every conversation, every negotiation, every relationship, people are scanning for your buttons, testing your reactions, mapping your emotional landscape. And the more readable you are, the more controllable you become. The average person is an open book. Their face betrays every emotion. Their body language screams their intentions. Their words reveal their insecurities. They're predictable, and predictability is vulnerability. But there's another kind of person, rare, dangerous, unreadable. You can't tell what they're thinking. You can't predict how they'll react. You can't find the leverage point that moves them. They exist behind a wall of strategic opacity that makes manipulation impossible. This is what it means to have an unreadable mind. And once you build it, you become immune to the psychological warfare that controls everyone else.
Most people will never learn this. They'll spend their entire lives being manipulated by those who see through them: salespeople, politicians, romantic partners, employers, friends, family. Everyone reading them, everyone finding the strings, everyone pulling. But you're different. You're here because you've been manipulated before. Someone found your weakness and exploited it, and you've decided it will never happen again. What you're about to learn is psychological armor, not the kind that makes you cold or inhuman, the kind that makes you sovereign, untouchable, free. This knowledge exists in the shadows. It's what intelligence operatives learn, what master negotiators practice, what truly powerful people embody. The unreadable mind isn't about deception, it's about protection. It's about controlling what others can see so they can't control what you do. You're about to become impossible to manipulate. And once you cross this threshold, there's no going back to naive transparency.
Principle 1. Facial neutrality. Your face is a broadcast system, and most people are transmitting on all frequencies all the time. Every micro-expression, every eye movement, every muscle twitch, your face is telling everyone exactly what you're feeling, thinking, and planning. This is how poker players lose. This is how negotiators get destroyed. This is how you get manipulated daily. Your face gives away information you didn't consent to sharing. The unreadable mind starts with facial control. Not a mask, that's detectable, but trained neutrality. The ability to receive information without broadcasting your reaction to it. Think about elite poker players. Phil Ivey, Daniel Negreanu at his best. Their faces reveal nothing. Good hand, bad hand, bluff. Same expression. This isn't natural. It's trained. Hours of conscious practice suppressing reactive facial muscles. Or consider high-level diplomats and intelligence officers. They sit through interrogations, negotiations, provocations, and their faces remain neutral. Not cold, not robotic, just unreactive. You can't read approval or disapproval, agreement or disagreement, interest or boredom. This neutrality is power. Because when people can't read your face, they can't calibrate their manipulation attempts. They're throwing darts in the dark. Application. Start with awareness. Most people don't even know their face is betraying them. Record yourself in conversation. Watch how much you reveal. The raised eyebrow of skepticism, the slight smile of agreement, the narrowed eyes of disapproval. Then, practice suppression. When receiving information that triggers emotion, pause before reacting. Feel the emotion internally, but don't express it externally. Create a lag between stimulus and facial response. Train in front of a mirror.
Tell yourself good news, bad news, threatening news. Watch your face. Flatten the reactions. Make your resting face genuinely neutral, not intimidating, just unreadable. In real-world situations, practice the diplomat's face. Slight, polite interest, nothing more. Whether someone's praising you, insulting you, or propositioning you, same face. The warning? People will find your neutrality unsettling. They're used to reading faces for social feedback. When you don't provide it, they become anxious. Some will call you cold, robotic, or intimidating. Good. Their discomfort is proof you're unreadable. But calibrate. In intimate relationships, permanent neutrality destroys connection. Use it strategically, not universally.
Principle 2. Verbal economy. Words are weapons you hand to your enemies. Every sentence you speak is data. Every story you tell reveals patterns. Every opinion you share is a potential leverage point. Manipulators are information collectors. They ask questions that seem innocent but are actually reconnaissance. What makes you angry? What do you value most? What are you afraid of? And most people answer enthusiastically. They vomit their internal world to anyone who asks, then wonder why they keep getting manipulated. The unreadable mind practices verbal economy, minimum words, maximum ambiguity. Never volunteer information that could be weaponized. Look at how intelligence operatives are trained. They answer questions with questions. They deflect with generalities. They share nothing personal unless it serves a strategic purpose. Even in casual conversation, they're protecting information. Or observe master negotiators. They speak very little. They ask many questions. They gather intelligence while revealing nothing. When they do speak, it's calculated, only information that advances their position. The psychological principle. People fill silence with assumptions. When you don't explain yourself, they create explanations. And usually those explanations favor you, because humans prefer coherent narratives, even if imagined. Application. Cut your word count in half. In every conversation, say half of what you want to say. Let others fill the space. When asked personal questions, deflect gracefully. Why are you asking? That's an interesting question. What makes you curious about that? Or answer with a question. What about you? Never explain your decisions to people who don't need to know. I'm not available is sufficient. You don't know anyone you're reasoning. Practice the pregnant pause. When someone makes a statement or asks something, wait 3 seconds before responding. This breaks the automatic reaction pattern and gives you time to choose your words strategically. Real-world example. When negotiating salary, the first person to name a number usually loses, so don't. What's your budget for the position? Instead of, I want X. You gather information. They reveal constraints. The warning. Verbal economy can make you seem distant or disinterested. In relationships that require intimacy, you'll need to selectively open up. The key is choosing when to be transparent versus when to be opaque. Some people will call you secretive or evasive. That's fine. You're not obligated to be an open book for everyone's entertainment.
Principle 3. Emotional opacity. Your emotions are the control panel, and most people leave it completely exposed. When someone knows what makes you angry, they can weaponize it. When they know what makes you happy, they can manipulate with reward. When they know what makes you afraid, they control you completely. This is how abusers operate. They map your emotional triggers in the early stages of the relationship. What makes you feel guilty? What makes you feel inadequate? What makes you feel loved? Then they push those buttons systematically to control your behavior. But it extends beyond abuse. Sales tactics, political messaging, social pressure, all of it works by identifying your emotional triggers and exploiting them.
The mechanism? When you display strong emotion, you teach people the formula. When I do X, they react with Y. Now they have a predictable cause-effect relationship they can exploit. Application. Create emotional privacy. Feel everything internally, but reveal selectively externally. When something angers you, don't react immediately. Pause. Process internally. Respond from logic, not emotion. This doesn't mean never showing anger. It means choosing when anger serves you versus when it gives others control. When something excites you, contain the visible enthusiasm. Let others wonder how much you actually want something. This is crucial in negotiations. Desperate desire is exploitable. When something hurts you, never let the person who hurt you see the full impact. They've just learned they can hurt you that way. Show nothing or show less than you feel. Practice emotional delay. Feel the emotion, let it process, then decide whether expressing it serves you. This gap between feeling and expression is where power lives. Real-world application. In conflict, when someone's trying to provoke you, they want a reaction. Your anger, your defense, your hurt, any of it proves they got to you. Give them nothing. Acknowledge calmly and move on. I hear you with zero emotional charge. The warning. Emotional opacity can become emotional suppression. Suppression causes psychological damage, ulcers, anxiety, depression, rage. The solution: feel everything privately, express selectively publicly. Journal, talk to a therapist, process emotions in safe spaces, but don't broadcast your emotional map to people who might exploit it.
Principle 4. Pattern disruption. Predictability is the foundation of all manipulation. If someone can predict your behavior, they can engineer situations that produce the outcomes they want from you. You become a machine they know how to operate. The salesperson knows that after 3 objections, you usually buy. The manipulative partner knows that after a fight, you always apologize first. Your boss knows that if he praises you, you'll work late without asking for overtime. You're a pattern, and patterns are exploitable. The unreadable mind disrupts patterns intentionally. It acts unpredictably not through chaos, but through strategic variation. Sometimes A, sometimes B. No reliable formula. Look at military strategy. Predictable armies lose. If you always attack at dawn, the enemy prepares for dawn attacks. If you sometimes attack at dawn, sometimes noon, sometimes midnight, they can't prepare effectively. Or consider master chess players. They study their opponent's patterns. This player always develops knights before bishops, so they prepare a counter-strategy. But the truly great players vary their openings, making pattern recognition useless. Machiavelli understood this. He wrote that the prince must sometimes be the lion, sometimes the fox. Predictability and leadership style makes you vulnerable. Variation keeps everyone off balance. Application. Identify your behavioral patterns. How do you typically respond to criticism, to praise, to requests, to conflict? You have patterns, everyone does. Now disrupt them intentionally. If you always say yes to requests, sometimes say no. If you always respond to emails immediately, sometimes wait days. If you always argue back when criticized, sometimes just nod and walk away. Don't be consistently nice or consistently mean. Be strategically variable. Sometimes warm, sometimes cold. Sometimes generous, sometimes strict. This prevents people from developing a reliable model of you. In negotiations, if you've been passive, suddenly become aggressive. If you've been aggressive, suddenly go quiet. Pattern breaks create psychological uncertainty, which reduces others' ability to manipulate the interaction. Real example. If someone's used to getting emotional reactions from you, give them nothing. They'll escalate, trying to trigger the familiar pattern. When it doesn't come, they lose their map and their power. The warning. Pattern disruption can make you seem erratic or untrustworthy. There's a difference between strategic unpredictability and unstable chaos. The key is being unpredictable in tactics while remaining consistent in core values. Your methods vary, your principles don't. This way, you're not readable in behavior, but you're reliable in character.
Principle 5. The firewall technique. Information compartmentalization is how intelligence agencies prevent infiltration. It's also how you prevent psychological infiltration. Most people have no information security. They tell their friends everything. Their friends tell others. Soon, intimate details of your life are public knowledge, and public knowledge is manipulable. Someone knows you're struggling financially. Now they have leverage. Someone knows your marriage is rocky. Now they have an opening. Someone knows your insecurities about your career. Now they can exploit it. The unreadable mind compartmentalizes information like classified intelligence. Different people know different things. No one person has the complete picture except you. Think about how criminal organizations operate. Low-level members know only their specific task. Mid-level knows slightly more. Only the top has the full picture. This prevents any single arrest from bringing down the organization. Or consider how tech companies protect trade secrets. Information is siloed. Engineers working on one component don't know about other components. Only a few at the top see the complete product. Your life should operate similarly, not because you're hiding something wrong, but because information is power and you should control who has power over you. Application. Create information tiers. Tier 1. Public information anyone can know. Tier 2. Selective information only trusted people know. Tier 3. Classified information almost no one knows. Your financial situation, your relationship problems, your health issues, your fears, your ambitions, these are Tier 3, maybe 1 or 2 people maximum, not your whole social circle. When someone asks intrusive questions, deflect. Why do you ask? Or share misleading but harmless information. Things are good tells them nothing exploitable. Never tell the same person everything. Your work friend knows work stuff. Your gym friend knows fitness stuff. Your family knows some personal stuff, but no one, not even your partner in some cases, needs your complete psychological profile. This isn't dishonesty, it's operational security. Spies don't lie about missions, they simply don't discuss them. You're not lying about your struggles, you're simply not broadcasting them. Real-world use? When going through a difficult time, resist the urge to vent to everyone. Choose one trusted person maximum. The more people who know you're vulnerable, the more exploitation vectors exist. The warning. This can create isolation. You'll feel like no one truly knows you. That's partially true, but complete transparency with everyone is naive and dangerous. The balance? Have 1 or 2 people you trust with Tier 3 information, but for everyone else, maintain compartmentalization. Deep connection with the few, strategic opacity with the many.
Principle 5. The firewall technique. Information compartmentalization is how intelligence agencies prevent infiltration. It's also how you prevent psychological infiltration. Most people have no information security. They tell their friends everything. Their friends tell others. Soon, intimate details of your life are public knowledge, and public knowledge is manipulable. Someone knows you're struggling financially. Now they have leverage. Someone knows your marriage is rocky. Now they have an opening. Someone knows your insecurities about your career. Now they can exploit it. The unreadable mind compartmentalizes information like classified intelligence. Different people know different things. No one person has the complete picture except you. Think about how criminal organizations operate. Low-level members know only their specific task. Mid-level knows slightly more. Only the top has the full picture. This prevents any single arrest from bringing down the organization. Or consider how tech companies protect trade secrets. Information is siloed. Engineers working on one component don't know about other components. Only a few at the top see the complete product. Your life should operate similarly. Not because you're hiding something wrong, but because information is power, and you should control who has power over you. Application. Create information tiers. Tier 1. Public information anyone can know.
Tier 2, selective information only trusted people know. Tier 3, classified information almost no one knows. Your financial situation, your relationship problems, your health issues, your fears, your ambitions, these are Tier 3. Maybe 1 or 2 people maximum, not your whole social circle. When someone asks intrusive questions, deflect. Why do you ask? Or share misleading but harmless information. Things are good. Tells them nothing exploitable. Never tell the same person everything. Your work friend knows work stuff. Your gym friend knows fitness stuff. Your family knows some personal stuff. But no one, not even your partner in some cases, needs your complete psychological profile. This isn't dishonesty. It's operational security. Spies don't lie about missions. They simply don't discuss them. You're not lying about your struggles. You're simply not broadcasting them. Real-world use. When going through a difficult time, resist the urge to vent to everyone. Choose one trusted person maximum. The more people who know you're vulnerable, the more exploitation vectors exist. The warning. This can create isolation. You'll feel like no one truly knows you. That's partially true, but complete transparency with everyone is naive and dangerous. The balance? Have 1 or 2 people you trust with Tier 3 information, but for everyone else maintain compartmentalization. Deep connection with a few, strategic opacity with the many.
Principle 6. Reaction control. Your reactions train people how to manipulate you. When someone insults you and you explode, you've taught them that insults produce explosions. When someone praises you and you light up, you've taught them that praise produces compliance. When someone threatens you and you comply, you've taught them that threats work. Every reaction is a training session, and most people are training their manipulators constantly without realizing it. The unreadable mind controls reactions, not by suppressing them completely, but by choosing which reactions to show and when. This is Behavioral Psychology 101. Pavlov's dogs, Skinner's rats. Reactions create conditioning. When you react predictably, you condition others to use specific triggers to get specific outcomes from you. Think about parents dealing with tantrums. If the child throws a tantrum and gets what they want, the tantrum is reinforced. Smart parents show no reaction to tantrums. The behavior isn't rewarded, so it extinguishes. The same principle applies to adult manipulation. If someone's guilt-tripping produces visible guilt and compliance from you, they'll peep guilt-tripping. If it produces nothing, they'll stop because the tool doesn't work. Application. Identify what reactions people are farming from you. Does your boss criticize you to get you to work harder? Does your partner create drama to get attention? Does your friend play victim to get sympathy? Now, stop giving them the reaction. When criticized, don't scramble to prove yourself, just nod. When drama is created, don't engage, stay calm. When victim mode activates, show polite but detached acknowledgement. This is extinction training. When the behavior stops producing the desired reaction, the behavior decreases. In conflict, the person trying to make you angry wants your anger. It gives them justification, creates chaos, or provides them emotional satisfaction. Don't give it to them. Respond with eerie calm. In manipulation attempts, the manipulator is testing which buttons produce which results. If no buttons produce reliable results, you become too difficult to manipulate. They'll move to easier targets. Real-world example. Narcissists thrive on reactions, positive or negative. They say outrageous things to get a rise. The moment you stop reacting, you become boring to them. They leave you alone. The warning. Controlling reactions can make you seem emotionally unavailable or cold in legitimate relationships. Your partner shares something painful and you're neutrally nodding. That's not unreadable, that's disconnected. The key is context. Strategic reaction control in manipulative situations, genuine emotional presence in safe relationships. Know which you're in.
Principle 7. Strategic vulnerability. The final and most dangerous technique. Use vulnerability as deception. This seems contradictory. You're trying to become unreadable, but you're showing vulnerability? Yes, controlled vulnerability is the ultimate opacity technique. Here's why. When you're completely closed off, people dig harder. They know you're hiding something and they want to find it. But when you reveal a vulnerability, a calculated, strategic one, they think they've found your weakness. They stop digging. This is misdirection. You show them a decoy weakness while protecting your real ones. Intelligence operatives do this. They'll accidentally reveal minor classified information that doesn't matter, to convince interrogators they've broken them. Meanwhile, the real secrets stay hidden. Or think about negotiation. You reveal a constraint that isn't your actual constraint. I really can't go above 80K. They think they've found your limit. Your real limit is 95K, but they stop pushing because they believe they've hit the wall. Machiavelli advised appearing weaker than you are in some areas so enemies underestimate you in the areas that matter. Controlled vulnerability serves the same function. Application: identify vulnerabilities that don't actually compromise you. Minor insecurities, small struggles, harmless personal information. Then share these strategically when people are fishing for leverage. They get something, so they think they've read you, but it's not something that gives them real control. Example: someone's probing about your finances. Instead of complete opacity, which increases suspicion, share something minor. Yeah, I'm trying to be more careful with spending on eating out. It sounds vulnerable and specific. They stop digging. Meanwhile, your actual financial situation remains unknown. In relationships, share struggles that make you relatable but don't create exploitable leverage. I sometimes struggle with self-doubt. Is vulnerable without revealing specific insecurities they could weaponize. This technique also works as a test. Share a strategic vulnerability and see what the person does with it. Do they offer support or do they later use it against you? Now you know whether they're safe or dangerous. Real-world use? In job interviews, when asked about weaknesses, give a real-sounding one but ultimately harmless one. I sometimes focus too much on details. It satisfies their need to read you without giving them actual ammunition. The warning: this is the most ethically ambiguous technique. It's essentially lying through selective truth. Use it only in adversarial situations, negotiations, manipulative relationships, hostile environments. In genuine relationships, this destroys trust. If your partner discovers you've been strategically vulnerable rather than genuinely vulnerable, the relationship ends. Know when you're in warfare and when you're in partnership. This technique belongs only in the former. Principle 8, the mirror technique. Become a mirror, not a window. Windows are transparent. You see through them. Mirrors reflect back. You see yourself. The unreadable mind reflects others' energy back to them without revealing its own. This creates the illusion of connection while maintaining complete opacity. When someone's angry, you reflect concern, but not your own anger. When someone's manipulative, you reflect their tactics back calmly. When someone's probing, you reflect their questions with questions. Psychologically, this is disarming. People expect their energy to land somewhere. When it just bounces back, they're confused, and confusion disrupts manipulation attempts. Think about therapists. Good ones never reveal their personal opinions or reactions. They reflect questions back. How does that make you feel? They're mirrors. You see yourself in the conversation, never them. Or consider how master salespeople handle objections. Customer says it's too expensive. Instead of defending the price, they mirror. Too expensive compared to what? The objection gets reflected back and the salesperson remains unreadable. Application: practice reflective responses. When someone makes a statement, don't give your reaction, reflect it back. I can't believe she did that. Instead of agreeing or disagreeing, what do you think made her do it? You seem upset. Instead of confirming or denying, what gave you that impression? This technique keeps people talking while you reveal nothing. They fill the space with their assumptions, projections, and information. You remain a blank mirror. In manipulation attempts, mirror their energy. They're aggressive, stay calm, but mirror their intensity verbally. I hear you're frustrated. What specifically are you frustrated about? You've matched their energy level without revealing your own emotional state. The mirror technique also works in negotiation. They make an offer. Instead of reacting, reflect. That's an interesting proposal. How did you arrive at that number? They keep revealing their logic while you reveal nothing about your position. The warning: Overuse makes you seem like a robot or a therapist, which people find annoying in normal conversation. The mirror technique is for situations where you need maximum protection, high-stakes conversations, manipulative interactions, or when dealing with people you don't trust. In normal relationships, some transparency is necessary. Nobody wants to be friends with a mirror. Calibrate based on context and safety level.
Being unreadable is lonely. Most human connection is based on mutual transparency. We share, they share. We reveal, they reveal. We bond through vulnerability. When you become unreadable, you sacrifice some of that warmth. People sense you're different. They can't quite pin you down. They feel like they don't fully know you, because they don't. This is the cost of immunity. You can't be manipulated, but you also can't be fully known. And being unknown is a particular kind of solitude. But here's what you gain: sovereignty. No one controls you through your emotions. No one leverages your weaknesses. No one pushes your buttons because they can't find them. You move through the world like a fortress. Others crash against your walls and break themselves while you remain untouched. Is it worth it? That depends on what you've survived. If you've been manipulated, betrayed, or exploited, you already know the answer. The loneliness of being unreadable is far better than the destruction of being controlled. Most people will never develop this skill. They'll remain open books, constantly surprised by how others use their transparency against them. But not you. You understand now that readable people are controllable people, and you've decided to be neither. Build the unreadable mind carefully, not as armor against the world, but as protection for yourself. Not to harm others, but to prevent others from harming you. Be the fortress. Let them wonder what's inside. Let them test your walls and find nothing to exploit. And in the rare moments, with the rare people who've earned it, you can open the gate, briefly, selectively, on your terms. But for everyone else, for the manipulators, the exploiters, the users, remain what they fear most: unreadable, unpredictable, untouchable. They can't control what they can't read, and they'll never read you again.